Hi, I'm Dr. Cheryl Fraser, and I'm here to talk to you about the 3 keys to passion, the 3 main areas that couples need to cultivate, or I hope you cultivate, if you want a strong, flexible, connected, romantic, and yes, sensual relationship. That may sound almost unattainable to a lot of us in longer-term relationships, because let's face it, long-term love can feel like a very hard gig. So these 3 key areas I call intimacy, thrill, and sensuality. This is the first of 3 videos on this theme, and we're going to start with intimacy. Now, wait a second. I'm not using the word intimacy to mean a euphemism for sexuality or sensuality. That's a great way to use that word. But I'm talking about intimacy from a different angle here, and it's the foundation of the 3 keys to passion the way I teach them. It's about communication, conflict resolution, knowing your partner has your back. Are you able to make up quickly and well after a disagreement? Or do you have those repeating, cycling, dead painful arguments that you just seem to haul up those same pain points from the past that you just don't know how to resolve? Do some of your arguments devolve into ugly fighting, where you're using unkind speech or worse, verbal abuse, you're defensive, you're trying to blame the other person? I do it too sometimes. We need to learn to work with that. So intimacy is a vital part of what I call, again, the passion triangle, these 3 keys to a great relationship. And I want to give you a couple of tips and talk about a couple I had the pleasure to work with in my 3-month program, the Become Passion program. This couple was having such a difficult time with ugly fighting, just so much defensiveness. They said they felt like cats on a hot tin roof, Tennessee Williams reference, I guess, where they were circling around each other. Driving home, the one spouse said she would start to get anxious about a mile from her house because she didn't know if they'd be kind to each other. And they were really, really trying. That's the heartbreaking part, right? They were consciously trying to be kind to each other. Does that resonate to some of you? Now, others of you may say, not at all. We do a really good job of being kind to each other. Where we fall down is we're conflict avoidant. We just don't know how to approach the tough stuff, where we just put our heads in the sand, ostrich style, and we don't talk about the tough stuff. So a little bit more about me, in case you're wondering. Dr. Cheryl Fraser, I'm a clinical psychologist, I'm a certified Gottman therapist, I'm a sex therapist, I'm author of the book Buddha's Bedroom. Had the absolute pleasure to teach for people like Tony Robbins and Jack Canfield of Chicken Soup for the Soul, quoted in a lot of media. I've got a podcast, but most importantly, the passion work I do is called the Become Passion program, a 3-month journey where I take couples through these 3 keys to passion. Today we're focusing on the first one. What is it? Intimacy, communication, conflict resolution. And I want to give you 2 quick tips that are actually quite profound that you could start practicing today to start improving, or at least getting a feel for how you could be kinder together and have connection that brings you closer instead of drives you apart. The first, I've alluded to it already, is be kind. You know, the Dalai Lama says, be kind whenever possible. And it's always possible. I'm going to do a thought experiment to prove this right now. Are you ready? Okay, let's say you're having a tough conversation with your sweetheart and you're devolving to your not so nice self. You're being critical, your voice sounds irritable, you're being nasty to each other. I'll mimic one right now. I can't believe you forgot the garbage. I can't rely on you. You're so unreliable. The phone rings. You pick it up. Hello? Oh, hi, Jane. How you doing? See what I did there? I immediately changed my tone of voice from critical and unkind to kind. We can all do it for Jane on the phone. How about we practice much harder to do it with our beloved, as much as we may be feeling we don't feel beloved of them in this exact moment. So practicing kindness. Watch your tone of speech. I just demonstrated we are capable of changing our tone of speech. We can do it. I invite you to do it a lot more often. The second thing I want to say is very much related to the first one. I call this convenience store speak. So let's imagine you stop on your way home at the convenience store, your 7-Eleven, whatever, you go in, you're buying some groceries. How do you speak to the clerk? Generally, pretty politely. Generally, you're kind of warm, you say, how's your day going? Thanks for the bag, you head on your way. Do we talk to our spouse, our chosen human, with the same level of relative respect and decency that we speak to the person bagging our groceries or filling our gas tank or waiting on us at a restaurant? We need to clean that up. So to review, 3 keys to passion. We talked about intimacy today. This is the first of 3 videos. We're talking about thrill in the next one and sensuality in the last one. What can you do to make a change? Start being kind, try harder, watch your tone of voice and make sure you watch the next couple of videos coming your way. Like to learn more? You can join me. I've got the 12-week program opening up next month, but I've got some free workshops between now and then where you can spend an hour or two with me confidentially online in an amazing class where I'll really take a deep dive into these, give you a workbook, you and your sweetheart can answer some questions, start some important conversations, and start moving from where you are to where you'd like to be. And a very few of you, probably about 1%, will maybe choose to join me. I take 100 couples only in the 3-month journey. For now, I remain Dr. Cheryl Fraser. I know long-term love that is rich and full is possible. It's rare. Let's change that, one of you at a time.